Hi, I'm Michelle and I'm from Wallandilly Library Picton, and I'm here with Robert Palmer from the Campbelltown District Family History Society today. Uh, Together we're going to explore Ancestry.com Library Edition today, and Robert's going to share his knowledge and insight on family history. So thanks for coming in today, Robert.
Pleasure.
And we'll follow up this interview with Robert with a demonstration on how to use Ancestry.com Library Edition to help reveal your family connections. So to start with, Ancestry.com Library Edition is usually accessible from within the library, but while our COVID-19 closure is happening, it's freely accessible for home use to our library members. So all you need is your library card number and your PIN number. And if you need help with any of that, any assistance at all, just call us on 4677 8300 at the library and we're happy to help with that. Just some little bit of information about Ancestry.com Library Edition. It covers billions of records, including census data, births, deaths and marriage records, immigration records, military records, right through to photos and family history trees, public family trees. And there are over 9,000 databases and 200 billion images on it from the US, UK, Canada, Europe and Australia. So we're going to go over to Robert now, and Robert will share with us now a little bit of his insight into family history and Ancestry.com Library Edition. So it's over to you now, Robert, to share that with us.
Thank you. In accessing Ancestry to do your family tree, I would suggest that you start with going on to public member trees and then finding your relative on there, and then going from there to see if someone else that was in your family had put the information on.
So, as a library customer, Robert, if I was looking for a relative I don't have much information about, do I begin with myself and work back, or my parents or grandparents? How do I sort of begin a family history search?
I advise people to start with their, whatever information they have on their grandparents, and then from there they can go back, especially when if you're starting and they were in Australia or in New South Wales. You can start with New South Wales BDM, births, deaths and marriages. You can access deaths greater than 30 years ago, access marriages greater than 50 years ago, and births greater than 100 years ago. And you can start there. You can find out on the deaths if they've died before 1990. You can access who their parents were, and then go to marriages, and if you get certificates.
All right, thanks, Robert. What if I wanted to find out what country my ancestor was born in? How would I start doing a search like that?
If you went on to Ancestry, there are records that you can select for immigration, find out where they came from. Also how they got here, and also for it can go back to convict days, and you can find there's a convict database as well.
That's really helpful. If I had a relative who was on a ship to Australia in the 1800s, how would I find the name of the ship they were on? Can that be done through Ancestry.com?
Yes. Again, if you go onto family trees, public member trees, someone else might have that information already researched. But if they haven't, you go to the immigration, and that will you could put all the information that you know about the person, their names and dates of birth maybe, and things like that. And if it comes up, if they've got it there, it'll come up.
Okay.
Another way is, if you can't find it there on Ancestry, you can go to the NAA, National Archives of Australia, and find out immigration through that.
Very good. Thank you, Robert. What about graves? How would I search if I was looking for, say, a grave or a cemetery headstone for my great-grandmother or one of my relatives?
again, if someone else has found it, you could find it on the Ancestry public member trees. But if they haven't, you can go to Australian Cemeteries, and then it has a list of cemeteries that they've been able to photograph and everything. And in a lot of cases, they've got photos of there have been volunteers that have gone out to cemeteries and taken photos of the actual headstones.
And the cemeteries are on there, aren't they, on the Ancestry.com?
And also, yes.
No, that's all right. Thanks, Robert. Because I'm always often interested to see the headstones of the relatives and see what's written about them. It's always interested me, and I know other people would be interested in that too.
Some of the things on the headstones are very humorous.
They are, yeah. So, thank you for that. Is there anything else you can share with us to help us in our searching family history and getting started and just along our journey, or just use an example that you've had of when you've done your research into your family history?
Right. Well, I've gone on the public member trees, put in the information that I have on the ancestors that I want to look at, found out a family that has put that information on, and it's what I tell people that they should check that information out.
Maybe check the primary source instead of believing everything.
Yes, because so many people go down the wrong track. And so my experience was that there was a person that had my great-grandfather is dying in South Australia in 1860, but they had him born in Methwell in Norfolk. The same year as my one was born. His name was Robert Palmer, and but my one was born in Kenning Hall in Norfolk in England. And when I contacted this person, I said that I asked him what his information was that he could verify, so that I could change my records to suit the correct one. And I gave him an example that I found it strange that my one was Robert Palmer and Susanna Smith, and his was Robert Palmer and Susan. And when you looked up the marriage, it was Susan Jackson.
Ah,
and
very close, but not the same.
Yes, but on the 1851 census in England, it had both families or both couples. And I wrote and said to this person that I know that his Robert Palmer, born in Methwell, was still in England in 1861 and the 1871 census. So my one that came out here in 1854 and died in 1860 could not be the same person. So it's good in verifying that.
So the public family member trees, they're put on by obviously members of the public.
Yes.
And it's good to maybe go to primary sources to verify that. It's not always accurate.
Yes, yes. Cross-reference your resources and your search results, yes.
Yeah, always a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Robert, for sharing your insight and knowledge about family history today. And coming up, we're going to do a short demo on Ancestry.com Library Edition. I hope this video has been helpful to get started on your searching family history. And you can leave your comments on our Facebook page. If you need assistance, just call us on 46778300 or email us at the library. We're happy to help. All right. Thanks. Bye. Bye from both of us.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hi, I'm Michelle from Wallandilly Library, and I'm going to do a demonstration for you now of our online resource, Ancestry.com Library Edition. We begin by going to our library website at www.library.wallandilly.nsw.gov.au. This takes us to our library website homepage. We click on the green My Catalogue tab, which takes us to an easy online access link to Ancestry.com Library Edition. Just click on the blue link to continue. This is where you'll need to enter your borrower number, which is a number starting with B on your library card, and your PIN number. If you aren't a library member, you can join online. We're happy to help if you need help with joining or with your library card number or your PIN number. Just call us on 4677 8300. I'll just pop in my PIN now and click Login. We're nearly there. Now click on either of these blue links to take us to the homepage of Ancestry.com Library Edition. Let's begin searching. I'm going to do a search for a startup on my grandmother as an example of how to search. I'm going to enter my grandmother's first and middle names in the first and middle names box here. It's not case sensitive. There's an option here to tick the exact box if you know it's the correct name, or you can tick one of the other options, such as sounds like, similar, or initials. I'm sure of my grandmother's name, so I've ticked the exact box. You can also use truncations if you're unsure of spelling or a name. For example, a question mark will replace a single letter in a name. Now, over to the last name box, I'll type in my grandmother's last name. Again, I'm sure of her last name, so I'll tick on exact. There are options again, such as sounds like, similar, etc., which you can choose to click on. For the place box, I know my grandmother lived in New South Wales, so I'm going to enter New South Wales. You can choose to autofill the box. New South Wales, Australia comes up, so I'll click on New South Wales, Australia to autofill the box. Again, you have an option to click exact to this place or state, territory and adjacent or country. I know my grandmother lived part of her life in New South Wales, Australia, so I'll click exact to this place. Now over to the birth year. I can tick for an exact match to a birth year or within a range of years. I'm unsure of my grandmother's exact birth year, but I know it within a range of years, so I'll put in 1895, click this button here and choose the within 10 years option here. My search is ready, so I'll click on the orange search button. I've found a result for my grandmother. It's a record here of my grandmother's cemetery headstone. I can click on this record to give me more information about my grandmother's headstone. We don't have an image attached to this record, so I can't show you that, but I'll show you that with another example. There is an orange Send Document button here. I can click on that, and I can put in my email and then confirm my email just in these boxes here. Then I'll have a record sent to my email address, which I can view at any time later. It creates for me a personalised discovery page, which is a great feature of Ancestry.com Library Edition. I'm going to click on the All Results tab now to take me back to my record. I'm going to click on Edit Search here and the Show More Options tab here. This is where you can include more information such as gender, nationality, etc. to narrow a search down. This is especially a helpful feature if you did a basic search and you got too many results. I'll click X now to clear this search off my screen. I can use the blue New Search link here to begin a new search, or click Search here, All Categories to begin a new search. I'm going to do a search on my grandfather now, as I know that there's an image attached to his record, and I will show you what that looks like. I'm going to enter my grandfather's first and middle names in the first and middle names box here. I know this is his exact name. Again, like in my grandmother's example, you could choose sounds like, similar, or initials, or just click exact. I'm also sure of his last name. I'm going to pop his last name here and click exact. Again, you can click sounds like, similar, etc. if you're unsure if it's the exact name. I'll just go to place now. I know my grandfather lived in Kyogle, New South Wales during part of his life, so I'm going to enter in Kyogle. And the autofill box says Kyogle, New South Wales, Australia. I'll click on this and click exact. Again, as in my grandmother's example, comes down with choices, options such as state, territory and adjacent, or country. I'll click exact to this place. I'm uncertain of my grandfather's birth year, so I'll leave the birth year blank and I'll click on the orange search button. As you can see, I've come up with 11 records for my grandfather George Albert Sykes. I'll click on one of these records, the electoral roll, because I see it has an image attached. Again, I have the option to send the document to my email. I want to view the image, so I'll click on the green View button. If I just enlarge that, I can see my grandfather's name on here, that he lived in Kyogle, and for part of his life he was a store assistant. On the right-hand side here of this image, there are options such as the left arrow, which you can click on to show you the record you're in. Also the gear icon, which gives you an option to print. There's also a save icon, and if I return back to my record and out of the image, again you have the option, again that I showed you earlier, to send the document to your email. So just click on that option where you can put your email in, confirm your email, to send that record back so you'll be able to view it later, and it'll add to your personalised discovery page on Ancestry.com Library Edition. I'm going to go back now to the search tab at the top here and show you what a card catalogue search looks like. This is a quick access point to all records. As you can see here on the left, it has lots of filters to all the collections that you can search within. Also has filters by locations, dates, and a language filter. Other tabs you can search on include message boards, so we'll take a look at that now, where members of Ancestry.com can put messages, a charts and forms tab, which you can click on now, where charts and forms are that may help you get started with your family history search. There's an ancestral chart, family group sheet, and some other charts and forms there. There's also a new collections tab. New collections are regularly added all the time to Ancestry.com Library Edition. There's lots of individual collections that you can search under there. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that demonstration of Ancestry.com Library Edition. This brings me to the end of today's demonstration. Again, we're happy to help you answer any questions. You may wish to upload them to our Facebook page, or you can contact us on 4677 8300 or via email. I've really enjoyed my time in exploring it. I hope you do too. Good luck with your family history connections. Stay well, stay safe. It's bye from Michelle at Wallandilly Library.